I mean, I guess let's just roll into it. So, because everybody's going to ask the number one question you got asked this weekend was,
Are you gonna do the Arnold?
really over what happened?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not
Okay.
to be
Well,
rude, but that's how much people give a fuck.
dude, there's so. I mean, Christ.
They'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll see you at the Arnold."
And
I'm like,
and
"Oh
another
my
one.
god, huh?"
I said, and another one.
I know. I'm like, "Can I heal, bro?" Like,
So, so people were more concerned about what you were doing next over the fact if you were actually okay and what happened to your hamstring and calf.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna like disrespect anyone by any means, but because I know I don't mean any harm by it, but it's just like in the position I'm in, I literally just missed Olympia. My wound is fresh as fuck. I'm in a goddamn wheelchair. Like, can I just heal?
I know.
Like, I get the excitement. I do. Like, oh my God, yeah, comeback time, Arnold. Well, first of all, what if the Arnold's too soon?
Yep.
And second, maybe I never even planned on doing it regardless.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you would have done well at the O, I'm highly doubtful you would have done the O. If you would have won the Olympia, I highly doubt you would have came back and won the Arnold.
No. And look, me and Matt had this conversation. I said, look,
I mean, I say
uh,
won the Arnold. I mean, do it, not win it.
yeah. And I'm like, there's a lot of things, once I heal, which I'm healing really fast. I said, once I heal, we need to have some certain conversations of what's next. And he basically said, look, man, like with the Arnold, if you don't like really need the money or anything, we focus on the Olympia. He's like, you already won an Arnold. And if you want to win another one, he's like, that's fine, but I think you should win an Olympia first. And then go back and win another Arnold. He's like, we need to. He's like, you can win this, and we need to solidify it.
And nothing made me more certain that you can win the Olympia after this weekend. And that's no disrespect to
Well,
anybody.
I said it to you on the live, and I'm going to say it to you now on our podcast. Every competitor needs to shake my hand and thank me that I got hurt for this one.
Mhm.
Because I'm not saying I would have won, but the outcome would have been tremendously different.
Oh, well, of course. That's obvious. Um, I mean, dude, there's so much to fucking okay. I'm just gonna start, and if you want to cut me off, I'll let you be the one to interrupt me this
Yeah,
podcast
do your thing,
because
bro.
there's so much stuff. How you been? How's everything? How's life?
Good, man. Life is good.
Is your brother treating you good? Because if he's not, I'll kick the shit out of him.
No, he's treating me real good. Make sure I have
Guy,
everything I need.
Guy,
you're the size
Nick,
of my big toe that's swollen right now.
Nick. You better watch who you're talking to.
And I'm
'Cause
being generous.
after this weekend, you better be nice. Okay, you little fuck.
After this weekend, what weekend?
This past weekend.
Oh, I thought you meant like a weekend coming up. What are you talking about?
I'm like, I don't know. It's this weekend. So I obviously people don't know. You were getting very close to the show, and you were looking tremendous. We weren't doing podcasts. You were very exhausted, but the prep was going so easy, and I wanted to let you be. And I know people were driving you nuts, me nuts about being on the podcast, but at the end of the day, that is your job, and I respect that. Even though it was pissed, you're driving me fucking crazy. I was like, just get on the podcast for 5 minutes. I understood it, and then obviously
we all know it's never 5 minutes.
I know. And then obviously I knew what happened. And then, you and I talked and, there was obviously no intention of doing a podcast at that point. Because I was like, forget it.
Yep.
So when you kind of told me what happened on the phone, I got to be honest. I was like, he's fucking lying to me. There's no way that just happens like that. And then when I heard you say it in the hotel in front of your mom, I'm like, there's one thing that I know about you. And if you guys are wondering why I sound like one of those fucking cancer commercials where it's like, don't smoke cigarettes, it's because I have no voice from the fucking. You got no voice. But, excuse me.
You good, bro?
Yeah. Where was I at? What was I saying?
Really? You forgot already?
Yeah, I'm shot.
You thought I was joking.
Oh, yeah. And when you said it in front of your mom, one thing I know about you is you never lie to your mother. And
What?
when you said how it happened in the hotel room, I'm like, all right, like he's not bullshitting. So why don't you just explain to everybody because everybody's gonna blow you up. So rather than fucking hear it first, what the fuck happened? Floor is yours. Talk. I'm watching.
So I guess I can't. It's hard to justify because Tuesday, when I trained chest and I was just doing incline Smith, and it was literally on a warm up set. I stood up and I just felt like this string of pain, so to speak, on like the outside part of the hamstring, and I'm like, "Fuck, man." And I just thought it might have been like a little tweak, you get whatever, you're fine the next morning. But I even throughout the rest of the workout, it didn't fade, and it kind of still hurt. And I'm like, fuck, like what is, So I let it go for the rest of the night. I was walking fine, whatever. I had no issues there. And then, on like I forget what it's called, but the outside of the hamstring where it's like feels like a guitar.
Like your IT band?
I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I can't.
Don't pull your pants down.
Right here?
Yes, bro. That shit hurt.
So bad.
And then I remember we went to go train. And when you can't stop looking at it. And throughout the whole work.
It's like you're waiting for something to happen because it's there. You're like,
throughout the whole workout, I could slightly see inflammation. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So then I woke up Thursday and it was inflamed. Not bad yet, but it was inflamed. And I'm like, I've been down this road. Fuck me, dude.
I've been down this road before.
Shut up. This is a sad fucking story.
That was a sad song.
So I remember sending pics to Matt Thursday morning. And I'm like, you can see it. Like, it's right there.
Those are the ones you sent to me? That it started to be kind of.
Yeah, it wasn't bad yet, but it was there.
Yeah, it was like a shade, like a shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't think Matt at the time understood the seriousness of it all because I started to panic. And I remember he called me and was like, this is when you need to become like the fucking Terminator. And, we got shit to do. So Thursday, when I trained shoulders and it was literally by like the end, I couldn't walk. My hamstring couldn't walk. And then on top of that, I went to train abs. So I'm like, I'm done. I need to finish.
Same day.
Yeah, I went to train abs.
I thought it was the next day.
And when I was doing the hanging leg raises, I came down on the other one, and that's when my calf popped. So then I just literally went down. I'm like, both my legs, I'm fucked. And then that was actually when I sent Matt those pictures that he posted originally when we found out it happened in my trunks.
Yeah.
That was Thursday.
Yeah. I mean, dude, when I felt your calf in your hotel room, I was like, oh my fucking God.
No, luckily right now, bro, it is so much more loose. Dude, it's still tight. But dude, compared to what it was even when I got there, oh my God.
We don't have to talk about it, but you know how scared I was about that calf. It was making me crazy.
No, I understand. And I get. And then where was I at? Oh yeah, then Friday.
You make fun of me for forgetting, you fuck.
Shut up. And then Friday, it was like my whole leg. And we sent pics to Matt, and I'm like, it's just not going anywhere, man. And that was supposed to be my last leg day. Obviously, I didn't train legs. I ended up just training back, and people in the gym could just see the gimp of my walk, how slow it was, and just everything. No one asked me questions though, but everyone stared.
Been like hard leg day. It was a hard leg day.
Yeah, right. So after that, Saturday, obviously we went to fly out. Got in real late, did cardio, went to bed, woke up, still pretty, inflamed. Obviously got worse a little bit. Sunday night, did I get work done? Was it Sunday night? Yeah, I think Sunday night. Yes, I went to go see Karen, Fixed by KG. That's here in Vegas. the best in Vegas, only person I will ever let touch me in Vegas.
Is that Cutler too?
No,
Cutler's
I don't think Cutler goes
Oh,
to go there.
I'm
But
wondering.
she went to use that like PMF, whatever. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting the name of it. Machine. It did help slightly, not on the calf, but on the hamstring. I did feel it like the inflammation started
The
to fade a
shockwave
little.
gun, the shed that.
Yeah, bro, it's a machine.
Yeah, it's not the Theragun, it's a machine.
Yeah, they put on like their hands, like it's on their fingers, and they just rub it. It's you probably never used it.
Oh no.
No, this is like a $30,000 machine. It's like it's supposed to just be a cure. But then Monday, Matt had his guy come down that was basically going to be in the same general area and with the same machine. He had the same machine. And I just figured it would have been more convenient for me to use him because he was walking distance rather than like a 20-minute, 5-minute drive.
Of course.
And he had the same machine. He knew what he was doing. So when I went to him Monday, I think, and again, I'm not upset. I'm not mad at anyone, but I think by him trying to massage it, not like pet me, I'm a kitty type of massage, like I'm about to go ham on this real fast type of massage.
Yeah.
And the thing was, it was painful, but I could handle it, which is how I knew the tear wasn't like drastic by any, but it was a tear. But I just think that made it fucking way worse. So then Monday night, I went back to him because he wanted to check on it, do another round. And I'm like, look, man, you just got to pet this shit like a fucking kitty cat. Like don't. So he did, and it started to feel better, and he started to, put a lot of work in on the calf. Earlier that day, Monday, like when he did the calf, he put like dry needling in it.
Yeah.
Like everything you could think of, this man did. It just didn't work, So Monday night, when I went back, he basically was just like, I want you to get up. I want you to try and stand on that calf and flex everything. I couldn't even stand on my toes. So he's like, Nick, I need you to sit down. And I'm like, okay. And he just looked at me and he's like, you're not going to get on stage. And like, I already knew.
Did you know? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes, that there's no way that shit was going to get better by Friday, either or.
Well, I think what happened is you sped up the process by getting the massages. So you sped it up, which is a good thing, but a bad thing in that situation, right?
But it was still very, very, very upsetting to hear.
Yeah.
So basically, when I went back to my room Monday night, I cried like a little girl for a half hour. Barely slept that night. I texted him. I've told him how I felt, and I'm like, look, man, regardless of anything, I'm not going to be top 3.
Yeah.
It's just not happening. And I'm like, I'm not going to get on stage and take anything less than 3rd of what I was.
I agree.
And he agreed. So then we all met at the gym. We all met there. They did their cardio. I did their posing. And we just sat there and I was like, what are we going to do about this? Like, how do you want to go about it?
Yeah.
And he's like, you need to call Jim. I said, okay, done. Called Jim. He was cool, very sympathetic.
I'm sure he was.
Very upset, actually, but very sympathetic. And then, I called Dan, but also very sympathetic. And they both agreed to just, hey, make a video, put it on your IG.
Like you would have to be told to do that anyway.
But. Yeah, I mean, I already know. But, I just said, okay. I said, I just didn't know if you guys kind of want to do it, want me to do it, whatever.
Yeah.
But they were like, no. You tell exactly how you feel, whatever. Just do your thing. So I said, okay.
You probably were regretting that video for.
Oh, so the video. So I asked Matt because I was lost, right? I just was like, what am I supposed to do with food? Because he knows how I am.
1-800 Cheesecake Factory.
Well, no. So he just looked at me and he's like, And he's like, I want you two to go have breakfast. Just go eat.
Yeah.
It's just relax. I said,
Good.
okay. So we went to First Watch, actually. I ate fucking everything you could think of. I didn't even care. I'm like, fuck it. Like, and it was quite delicious. And then after the fact, we got back to the room and I said, we got to make this video. So I sat in the chair and I'm like, I'm not going to cry. I'll be fine. And I don't know how long it was, but I held strong for like a minute.
You were like, you were like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes in. And
then once I talked about, just how hard it was, Matt and her to get, like, I just lost it. I'm like,
it's a wrap, baby.
Yeah, so that's really it. And then, we just kind of went through the motions throughout the week.
Yep.
And that was, we chilled. I tried to train a couple of the days, but I'm like, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna chill.
Yeah.
This isn't.
Well, we talked about your weight barely even moving with everything.
Yeah, so obviously, how you go through
the furnace
final
phase.
depletion phase of no water, diuretics, all that bullshit. I didn't have to. So with my body already being depleted,
yep,
my body just fucking ate that shit and then threw it back out.
When I walked in your room, I know I've said this to you before, but you were sitting on the couch, you had a hoodie on, but it was decent in your room. I gave you a hug. And if I was out in the wilderness freezing, I would be okay jumping on your back like a little fucking monkey. That's how hot you were. The steam was coming through your fucking sweatshirt. I was like, you're a fucking furnace, dude.
I was very fucking hot.
I'm
hot right now.
So when you told me, it's hard to put myself in that position because I never had to pull out of a major show. I did pull out of the New York Pro. I walked away after prejudging from those burns that you can still see on me to this day. And I remember walking off stage after they oiled me up. I walked on stage, hit poses, and then came off stage. And then I literally packed my stuff quietly while everybody was still there. And I just made sure nobody's looking. I subtly just walked out the side door and took my car to the hotel. And I called Steve, and Steve picked up, and I just fucking lost it. And I was like, I got to go to the emergency room. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I can't, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to make it.
So that's why I text you. I said, dude, I'm going to let you be today, but you're going to talk to me tomorrow. Because you got to get through
didn't
that.
Let me be. You called everyone around me.
Bullshit. No, I fucking did not. You absolutely
Justin, Maria.
Nope. First of all, I texted Maria and I said, if you need anything, let me know. Just I want him to be okay. You're a real
fucking with you dipshit.
I won't check on you from now on, you motherfucker.
Yeah, man, leave me alone. I'll get to you back.
I'll get to you back.
Well, I'll hit you back.
What kind of fucking sentence is that? Fucking English major.
Fuck off.
So that happened. And then we had the Brandon scare, which Brandon told me was an ulcer, I believe.
Yeah, I seen him. So actually on Sunday, we all went to breakfast again, and I seen him at hash to go or whatever it's called.
Okay.
It's like a country breakfast place. Phenomenal.
Oshkosh Bagosh.
Something like that. It's phenomenal. Literally phenomenal.
What is it called?
Louis, what's it called? Is it hash to go?
Yeah, hash to go.
Or hash to go? Yeah. No, it's not hash house. It had to go in it. But either way, I see him there.
Yeah.
And he explained it all to me. But it was he basically just said I forget. But he was just trying to swallow a protein shake with some pills or something, and it just everything got stuck. And then he started spitting out blood. So then he had to go to the hospital.
Dusty Hanshaw has something like that in his esophagus. I don't know what it was, but he had a really bad scare.
Oh yeah, he like died.
Yeah, oh yeah, damn near close to it.
He legit choked on a piece of steak.
Yeah, but I don't know but I think it was like I don't think it was like I don't think it was stuck. I think it was like in his like in his esophagus, but he was still be able to breathe. And I think it was like lodged in there. It wasn't like he was
Yeah,
choking to
us
death.
bodybuilders, including
Yeah.
me, man. Like we
Eat
don't chew
fast.
food sometimes.
You got to chew your food, and chewing the food helps with the digestion, which people don't understand. Like swallowing chunks of food is not easy for your body to digest when you. That's why we have fucking teeth. Use them, not just munching on veggies.
I got
So
them pearly whites.
you got them fucking vaninis.
I got them pearly whites.
We talked about that. Well, let's talk about that. By the way, since let's make a quick left turn.
Why?
Because my training partner and one of my very close friends, Bobby Carter, not my training partner, Bobby, my business partner, Bobby Carter-Lemmy, one of the guys I train with, turned pro. He came with me to your room because he came with me for the weekend or the week. And he was shocked about, he was like, he goes, does it surprise you that Nick didn't know that his teeth got grinded down before he got veneers? I go, no, it doesn't surprise me at all. I go, he just saw what the teeth looked like in the end and was like, I want that. I go, and never fucking Googled it one time.
Bro, I was like, oh my God. I can never go broke.
So we were sitting in this hotel room talking about when Nick got veneers. And I was like, I could never do that because they grind your teeth down to like a toothpick stub.
I don't regret it though, because they're some fucking nice.
No,
shit.
I get it, but I was saying that, and Nick goes, "Yeah, I didn't know that." My training partner was like you were in the chair. It was too late. It was too late.
But no, I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
until you lose a tooth.
I already did.
Fuck around.
Luckily, I was able to stick it back in, and it didn't move. But yeah, and then I had to go back, and they had to like re-cement it.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, what happened? I said, oh no, motherfucker. You tell me. I was flossing and it fell out.
Is that how it happened?
Yeah. It was a Friday, which was before me and Maria go on our date nights. And it was early in the morning. Because every morning I have a routine. I get up, I go do cardio, I shower, and then I go brush my teeth before the day gets started.
You don't brush your teeth first?
No. Ugh. No, because I get up, I drink water, I drink fat
you're drinking. Shit. Yeah, but you're drinking all that nasty shit that's in your mouth from the night before. You're drinking all that.
I don't care. I brush my teeth 3 times a day. I mean, it's whatever. I have to now, but and I remember I was flossing, and the thing just went doink, and I'm like, oh my god, I just lost a tooth. And she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, my fucking tooth. So luckily, it was like it fell in the sink. And the water was, so I was able to grip that motherfucker up.
So you had a big one and a small one for a second?
Yeah, and I just shoved it right back up in there.
Call you Biggie Smalls.
It didn't move. It stayed.
Yeah.
And then that Monday, I went back in for an appointment. And the guy was like, how did it happen when you were training? I'm like, look, man, you asked me this type of question before I got these teeth. I said, I don't grind my teeth while I train. I don't grind my teeth while I fucking sleep. I said, I was literally flossing and the shit came out. And he's like, well, that's really weird. I'm like, oh you don't say. I'm like, what are you going to do? We need to
I could never do that because the grinding of the teeth fucking skeeves me the fuck out.
Well, I don't grind. So, I mean.
No. The grinding, I can't handle that.
Oh yeah.
No, thanks.
Well, when they were shaving them down,
fuck.
When he was shaving them down, I'm like, what's he doing in there? What's he doing in there? So when he was finally done, and he walked away because he was making like the fake ones before, because you got to get the real ones made.
Yeah.
I grabbed my phone and I put it on like picture mode and just looked at me, and I'm like, oh my god, I look like the guy. I look like the guy from the fucking Goonies right now.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah. Oh, you guys. And I'm like, fuck me.
Horrible. So you ended up pulling out because you had no choice. Brandon had that little esophagus ulcer thing. And before we
Yeah, but even with him, he had to fast for like 24 hours. So he missed a
oh
huge
wow.
window to eat food.
Okay, because he was in the hospital.
Yep.
Yep. Jesus.
And those tests like require, I don't, obviously not to eat or something.
Yep.
So he literally like had to fill out like at the last minute.
That sucks. And he was still able to pull off,
Fourth.
decent placing. Yeah. I mean, he
He
forced
got,
it
he
to
got what he got
Olympia.
last year.
Yeah. And he got really sick.
Under
So
under a way worse circumstance.
yeah. So thank God. It shows you how people underestimate and underrate Brandon for literally being in the emergency room 2 days before the
He's
Olympics.
such a nice guy though,
The
because
greatest. He's awesome.
I appreciate it because when I seen him at breakfast, he found me first. And he came up to me, he gave me the biggest hug in the world and said, I missed you up there, bro. I really
Yeah.
did. And we laughed. Even his wife, fucking wonderful
Brandy's
people.
awesome.
She is. Because when I found out like that he dropped out, whatever, I sent her a message immediately. I said, you need to tell me what the fuck just happened. I said, is Brandon okay? That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
And her response was, I'll never forget it. She was like, first off, thank you for thinking of someone else while you're going through your own shit right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I'm already fucking out, man. Like, I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. You're like, I got somebody to hang out with now.
But like, she gave me like a brief story, not like, the whole shabab, which I don't expect her to.
Kit and caboodle.
But when I seen him, he that's when he explained it. But he gave me like the biggest hug possible, man. And I'm like, you guys are great people. Seriously.
Yeah, they are. So me and Brandon was with BSN for the same time I was. So me and Brandon traveled a lot of places together for a very long time.
I remember that.
Yeah. So Brandon was a good dude. He turned pro in I turned pro in 08. He turned pro in 07. He's a phenomenal bodybuilder. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And then I don't want to go into the open stuff yet. I want to go into the 212 real quick. What do you think about the 212 and the Sean Keon? A lot of people back and forth about this that I've seen.
Okay, so I'll tell you like this. The 212 Olympia reminded me of the Arnold Classic. What are you going to go with, right? But I think what hurt Sean the most was I think he finally just put on too much size for the frame. Yeah. Because he did have a hard time controlling the stomach. It did look a little wider than it did in previous years. And I also believe he was lacking a little detail in certain areas that he normally doesn't lack.
Yeah.
And I do think that was just simply him putting on some size rather quickly, and it didn't stick. You know how it works.
Yep.
Keon grows very slowly, and I think he progresses. He may not nail it every time, but you could tell there's progression, if that makes sense. And I just think Sean kind of has like almost the same problem I do, where we have to be 100% or it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And Keon, because I feel like he has great proportions, symmetry, he can be off a little bit and still win.
He has the best shape, I think,
and that's not taking anything away from the way Keon looked this year, because Keon looked his best ever. But what I'm saying is, since and this can even go back to the Arnold, right? Like Samson was not in that same conditioning that I was.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone knows this, but he still beat me, right?
Yep.
So that is just reminded me of that very similar situation, and I even said, I think with Sean, whatever him and Matt talk about, that's between them. That's their game plan. But I just think he needs to do what I did and not worry about consuming so much food, not worry about this, and focus on making sure you're getting enough to train hard, progress in the certain areas you want, but overall refine. And I do believe Sean can come back and take his title back.
Yeah.
But he just needs to focus on the detail and refinement now. For how tall Sean is, the size is there. He has it all.
He's a fucking Ronnie Coleman of the 212. Yes. I mean, he is.
and I get it, and we all want to be bigger. Trust me, I fucking get it. But it's when you're in this sport now, size can make you or break you.
Agreed.
And I think when we're shorter, and it more so can break us than make us.
Because it does this eventually.
You know, like we'll take someone like Samson, right? Like I'm pretty sure he was a little heavier at this year's Olympia. He was 300.
Yep.
He still has room to go.
Yeah, he's got to fill out that back.
You know, he could put a lot of size on the back. His arms could still grow.
Yep.
He could even use a little bit, you know, on the hamstrings, I think. But he had, like, even Regan.
Yeah.
Regan looked his best ever.
Best. Yep.
But still got way more room to go.
Was he your biggest surprise?
No, I said this. I thought Carrizo was.
Yeah. You said on the live, not today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, between him and Regan, I mean, Regan looked like, first of all, he achieved his goal. He wanted to be top 10 because, you know, I told you me and him squashed our shit. So now we're like really good friends now.
And was he ninth?
I think he was 9th.
Yeah.
And I think he was his biggest, obviously. I think he was his best condition. I think he was full. He brought it. He's just someone that needs time.
I agree.
He needs time. And I, you know, I'm glad, you know, he lives in Vegas because I would like, you know, we've had long discussions. Like I'm looking forward to getting some good training sessions in with him and helping push him.
Yeah, he looks. Something's up with my internet today. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, like he could have been a little more conditioned, but that was still his best ever.
Yeah, I mean, he looks pretty damn good. You know, I mean, he's a big guy, so he's just got a big frame to fill out.
He's 6 foot.
Yeah, he's tall, man. That's fucking tall.
I think he's 6 foot. He might be a little taller, but
you know,
he's definitely 6 foot.
I mean, but this is definitely his best look ever. I mean, he's starting to get that graininess to his physique and that like hardness that he hasn't had before. And when he turned around, I think that was the biggest improvement that I saw in him, where his side shots,
he looks
that looks great. You know, he's
good
looking fucking dude, and that's good.
But this is, you know, I'll say it now because
that looks great.
Now. I'll say it now because we're friends now. But this is what I meant by he needs to focus.
Yeah, this looks great. I mean, this is a great.
You see what happens when you focus, you make improvements, you move up in placing, and you look fucking great.
Yeah, Regan.
Now do that in the offseason, Regan.
Yeah, Regan.
No, but seriously, like Regan's got it, man. He just
fucking sure does. Grow. It was great. So the 212, I mean, when Keon, in my opinion, has the best shape, I think, in the IPB. He literally has one of the best structures and shapes in the entire bodybuilding industry. And I think he came in at his best. And I think they were saying that his best beats Sean when Sean's 2% off.
Sean can't be off.
Yeah. Sean is so impressive. And he's got so much wow factor. But it's so in your face that if he's a little off, you can see it. Now, do I agree with the call or not? It's so hard because I wasn't there in the audience, and I'm going to get to why that matters so much. In the beginning, you can make the argument. We've made it before. Do you have to knock out the champ? What's your, you know, if you're asking me, did Keon knock? If Keon won, if you're asking me, do I think if Keon knocked him out? The answer is no, I don't.
No, I don't think so.
So then it goes back to, do you think you have to knock out the champ? And there's everybody thinks
nowadays. I don't even think that rule applies anymore.
Okay, why?
Because I just think they're just going to go with who looks better that day.
Okay, that's fine. But it's in a sport where you're not knocking somebody out, scoring a touchdown, hitting a home run. Like there's obviously
Because we have to look at it in this perspective. Like, I get it. You got to knock the champ out, right? But like you just said, this isn't a boxing
I'm not
match.
saying that. I'm saying there's an argument for that because I've said
No,
that
I know,
before,
but that's that's the thing. Ever
Yeah.
since I got into competing,
Yep.
if you're the champ and it's literally that close, it's
Yeah.
going to go to the champ because you got to knock the champ out, right?
Yeah.
But like this isn't a boxing match. Like we're being judged.
Exactly.
So whatever the judges think is, slightly edgily, whatever that's even a word, better, that's what they're going to go for. And on that day, they liked the way Keon looked over Sean. And like you said, do I think Keon knocked Sean out? No.
Yep.
But if they think he was better, Keon
Then it
wins.
is what it is. Yeah, I agree. So I mean, there was really no other surprises in the 212. I think everybody that we really thought was going to show up showed up. Everybody kind of those top guys. I think were all in shape. Top 5 were peeled. And Kareth looked great. That what's his name? Is it not Angel? Is it Angel? Yeah,
Angel. He was third or fourth.
No, third. I think fourth was
Kareth, right?
Yeah. Yep. Kareth was fourth. So great group of guys, man. I mean, that class, is that's all the guys from my era are gone. All these new guys are taking over. So it's cool to see the young bucks coming up and starting to push the old guys out. But Sean is the last guy standing with the 4 as a first number. So stay strong, Sean. You fucking still definitely got a couple more long ones in you.
If I know Sean the way I know Sean, like he's already got. Well, he already said it, but he's back to work. Like he's ready.
Yeah.
I mean, look, and even me, like I'm training. I'm doing what I can because that's what champs do.
That's what we do.
Like you find ways to just make it work.
Figure it the fuck. I say it all the time. Figure it the fuck out, man. Figure it the fuck out.
I eventually I know I'll be able to train quads before hamstrings ever.
Yeah.
Because I did that last time. And it's just if you can find, like, even for legs, like say for example, we'll say at the end of the week, what, I want to try and leg press. And say there's no pain. I will sit there and do like 30 sets of leg press and then go home.
Yeah.
And be like, that was good enough for me, motherfucker.
Yep.
Find
something that works.
Find a way to just make it work.
It's crazy, Nick. With the excuses you would think people make sometimes, but
and honestly, that's why I was thrilled. I didn't get any backlash for backing out because how some people are like, oh, competitive.
Let me tell you something. You can't say shit because your leg was fucking looked hard.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But how some dickheads are.
Yeah.
But like, I truly believe I would have won. I really do.
Listen, and let's get into that. Because
that's not taking away from the champ. He did his thing.
Yep.
But with the way I was looking, the way me and Matt had this whole thing planned out, that that sandal would have been sitting on my fucking seat or whatever.
How did you? Let me see. How did you see it? You were judging. Take what happened out of it. How do you see it
for finals? Because that's what I went to.
Okay. Yeah, finals.
Listen, it was for me personally. It was close. All 3 were really, really close. I can see why Derek won. Very happy for Derek.
Why?
I love Derek.
Break it down. Why?
I think. Listen, from the front, I think Hadi wins certain poses based off just conditioning, in my opinion, and hardness. But Derek also had the better shape. Now, from the side, in my opinion, you could go either way. It's just what you like. I think the detail in Derek's side leg was slightly better than Hadi's. But I think the upper part of Hadi's body from the side tri and side chest was more conditioned, hard, dense than Derek's. From the back, I would give it to Derek in both poses. I'd give him the back double and back lat. from the most musculars, though, I would probably just give it to Hadi. Just because I just think he's very dominant. I think, Samson possibly could have maybe placed a little higher if he did not start sweating in that final pose. I think that broke him.
Yeah.
But I did think Samson looked phenomenal, and I think it was his best to date. But I can 100% see why they picked Derek, without a doubt. But this is like one of those things again where I don't think Derek took out the champ.
Yeah.
But if they believe Derek is better that night, then Derek's going to win.
Well, and they didn't believe that Derek knocked out the champ because it wasn't straight verse. Because if you look at the scorecard, not that the scorecard means anything, but this to me is where Hadi lost it, unfortunately, and it's right here is a big portion. He was off here, and
he's not the thing. I don't know what's going on, but he's not bringing that Hadi condition,
that gnarly graininess. Yeah. And this right here, it was an issue. Like he's holding here. Like this is like Derek is very peeled up through here. And Hadi's is definitely thicker right here. Like in the upper, Hadi's thicker. In the lower right here, Derek's a little thicker and wider.
For sure.
And this this is just he's off. I mean, you can't. I mean, granted, he's not fully in the pose, but you could tell right here he's off.
Yeah, I agree.
That's and his color, and you can tell the pH of his skin because his coloring was off. It's in the front. I think I can make an argument that he was harder. This abs and thigh shot and this is where you can argue that Hadi was
Hadi won that one. Yeah.
Right here, like Derek. I don't know if this just needs to get filled. It doesn't need to get filled in because it's smaller. Or is it atrophying, which is weird because it's nobody shoots in the middle of their chest. Did he get little tears there maybe, and it just started to wear and tear after a while? Because look how filled in Hadi is, and this is where Derek will lose a lot of ground if he doesn't figure out how to get this up in the next year. What do you think that is?
I really don't know, if I'm going to be honest, because Derek from the front, he's never hard. So, like, I don't know if it's a muscle maturity thing. I don't know if it's a training thing. I don't know what it is, but
I mean, and it looked like Hadi corrected his shoulders because his shoulders didn't look like they.
I think Hadi's shoulders look fine, in my opinion.
I mean, this year I think they did too.
So
I'm trying to find pictures of Samson. I mean, that's obviously afterwards. You look crazy. Now let's talk about this. I'm not even going to pull it up about that. Now, to me, I actually had lymph nodes removed from my arms twice.
Yeah.
But my lymph nodes actually, I had some that were right here. Believe it or not, they cut you open. I have a scar right on top of my armpit. And that is kind of similar to what they look like. If we go to this shot right here that I just had up, because you have lymph nodes all over your body, and that looks like a swollen lymph node. Now, I don't know. Do you know anybody that shoots there? Because I don't. I know if you shoot in the lat, you normally go in the back.
Yeah.
Back here. So I've never known anybody to shoot in their lat. Do you?
Me?
Right there?
Oh, no, not right there. That's why it's weird for me. It's directly like in the armpit.
Yeah. So I mean and I talked to Derek.
Not there. No.
Yeah. So I don't think that's a shot. So I mean, people that were thinking it's shot or SCOs, I really do think it's a lymph nodes. And Derek said that he felt like he was getting sick because his lymph nodes in his throat were getting swollen as well. So I just think that was a lymph node issue. I do think that he definitely has. I told him to get him checked out just in case. If you have infected lymph nodes, that means something's going on.
Yeah.
Now, the bigger issue that we ran into was here we go. This is the one I was looking for with Samson. I mean, Samson looked incredible, and I think what would have helped Samson too is if he would have just went like this, like he let the oil sit. And I think if he would have moved it, I mean, you could make an argument that it could have made it look worse. But a lot of times when you have a darker skin complexion, you're black. If you rub it in, like when you're a white and you have the pro tan on, you start rubbing it. Sometimes it could like start smearing. When you're a black complexion, I don't think that would happen as much. But he just let it sit and run on him, and that's what made it look worse to me.
Way worse.
And but man, he was massive and he was impressive.
He improved, man, and I'm happy for him. He really did.
He needs that back thickness to come up.
He still got work to do there, but
and he still needs to be a little harder to hang with Hottie and Derek. Hottie and Derek bring that crazy conditioning, like he could have been same thing with Derek. I thought he was a little washed out in the stomach. And he could have been harder from the back, but overall, like I love Samson's look. It's absolutely tremendous. And I think he deserves every applaud and praise he gets because he's a tremendous bodybuilder. Now, to be a tremendous bodybuilder, you have to, and I've said this a million times, you have to learn to be a great loser to be a good champion. And I was not thrilled, impressed, happy with what Hottie did on stage. And I'm going to give you my 2 cents, and you have competed with Hottie, so I'll let you speak. But this is what I think. You only get one shot to do things the first time. There's only the first once. Last year, Hottie won the Olympia. Derek stood there and hugged him and praised him and said, congratulations. And probably God bless you, man, and whatever other kind words Derek said to Hottie last year.
Yep.
Now, Hottie got to enjoy it. He got praised for it. Regardless of what anybody thinks, regardless who I think deserved to win the show, Nick, regardless of who you think deserved to win the show or anything, Derek won this year.
You show respect.
The issue that I have is that Derek winning is not being talked about as much as Hottie walking off stage and disrespecting not only Derek, the entire fucking sport. Okay.
Or the fact that all Hottie's fans are giving Derek life-threatening threats.
And first of all, if people are that stupid, okay, there is real life war shit going on. Okay. Right now, that is much bigger than fucking bodybuilding. So, like, grow up, maybe. Like, this is insane. First of all, you don't ever attack somebody's fucking wife or unborn child.
Yep.
This is bodybuilding, okay? We are all fucking friends. And number 2, Hottie walked off stage and deprived Derek of what he was rightfully owed, and that was a congratulations and a good fucking job. And Derek stood there, and Derek was almost, I could tell he looked like he felt like an asshole because Hottie just ripped it. And I don't want to hear that I couldn't hear or like this that he took it and was like, fuck you.
He's been here before.
And there's other things that I could go in on that happened also that I won't because I was asked not to, so I'm not going to. But there was also people that I think should have been on stage that weren't on stage.
Oh my God!
Don't. Bro,
I don't.
I know. Don't. I was asked not to.
Let me tell you something, bro. I'll drop it here, but let me tell you something. If I won, I wouldn't even have to ask to have Matt come on stage. That's all I'm going to do.
And listen, I'm going to call it like it is because I've always done it. And whether you like it or not, this is who I am. And if you know I love you, I got nothing but love for you. But if you do something kind of dumb, I'm going to fucking call you out, even if you're my friend. I'm not calling anybody out, but I'm going to say what I also didn't like. I don't understand how some of the people whose hands I could shake at the same expo that had the same fucking vision as me and say the same things to each other, and then go on Hottie's page and go, "We still love you, champ," and like, "Keep your head up, champ."
Yeah,
And like, how can you do that
you can't.
and shake Derek's hand at the same time? Because I don't hate anybody. I don't hate Hottie. I just think what he did was just an asshole move.
Mhm.
Like, you just don't do that, you know. And if Derek did it to Hottie, I'd be calling Derek an asshole too. So it goes both fucking ways. But there's no rhyme or reason. And you could say that it was in the moment, but no, dude, not on that stage. Like, you don't get to do that. That's not okay. Like, he owes fucking Derek and Derek's family an apology. And honestly, he needs to put out a statement and tell his fans to stop attacking Derek. Derek winning. Derek shouldn't feel bad for winning a fucking show.
Agreed.
And I don't know if people are afraid to say it because they don't want to get attacked too, but there's nothing to attack. These are facts. You just don't act like that. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what country you live in. I don't care what color your skin is. Like, we all compete for the same thing, and we are all fucking brothers of iron. And we like this attacking bullshit. We don't play that. So knock it the fuck off. Like, we all are supposed to be in this together. There's enough fucking segregation going on in the world. We don't need that shit in bodybuilding. So fucking put it somewhere else. Don't bring it to the IFBB. Leave it the fuck alone. And that's just, and because that really upset me, you know. And I was very emotional leading up to the weekend because the day after the Olympia was damn near the day that Sean died, and you knew how emotional I was because I fucking damn near lost it in your room at one point. And like, just to see the Olympia and then that shit fucking happened, I'm like, how dare you, dude? Like, I never won an Olympia. You have an Olympia title, for Christ's sakes. You've done more in this sport than 99.9% of bodybuilders. Your Hadi Chopin's name is etched in fucking bodybuilding history. Like, you are one of the best bodybuilders in the world. Like, act like it, dude. Act like it even on the worst fucking day. You got to act like it. And that's what being a fucking Mr. Olympia is acting like a Mr. Olympia even on the worst fucking day.
Yep.
And you didn't do that. And that's okay, because I still think you're a fucking great bodybuilder, but you fucking you owe some people an apology. That's just how I feel. I mean,
I agree.
You tell me.
You said everything. I agree. I don't care what the situation is.
Don't agree. Tell me how you felt when you saw that. Tell me.
Well, I was in shock. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I chuckled a little bit. I mean, because I was so shocked. I'm like, yo, my man just walked off stage and tried to hand the medal back. Who does that? But
I wasn't there.
You know what it was too? Because
hold on. I wasn't there at night. I couldn't see past the camera. So once he walked off lens.
Oh no, he tried to hand the medal back to Bob.
Oh, so he knew so he was blatantly disrespecting.
Yeah, he knew, bro.
I couldn't see that. I didn't see that.
Because it was just the only reason why I giggled because it was, first of all, it was just so random. And then I was getting ready to leave because they lined them all up. I said, okay. I just looked at Maria. I said, before it gets crazy, we can't get out of here. I said, let's roll now. So she's getting up, getting ready to wheelchair me. And we're still watching though, so, you know, and they go to take like one picture or whatever, put their hands up. And then Hadi just takes his medal off and just walks off. And we're like, what
did the crowd do?
I wasn't really paying attention.
Shout out to MegaFit Billy. Love you, buddy. Billy's the man.
I don't really know. I mean, I was trying to roll bounce.
I gotta say, I loved his speech though. You know, he talked about bringing bodybuilding together. Regardless of what avenue he's trying to do it, I think he's a good-hearted dude. And you know, Hadi was a great champion, and Hadi is still in my eyes a champion. Hadi will forever be a champion, and I think anybody that competes next year better be fucking scared if Hadi comes back to compete, because Hadi fucking has all the tools it takes to be a Mr. Olympia. but you got to do better, dude. Like you got to do better.
Just
That's
finish it. Like, just
you
be
know,
respectful and finish it. It's not
you
that
know,
hard.
we've all broken down in our hotel rooms, in our houses, whatever the case may be. We've all done it. Like, but do it backstage. Do it backstage. Do it fucking, behind, go to the bathroom. Fucking just you
I agree.
that's where you got to set yourself apart as a champion, because you got to figure it the fuck out, man. You can't do that in the moment. It's not okay.
I agree.
And
I
yeah,
agree.
I don't know, but Derek's coming up this weekend, so that'll be cool. He's guest posing at Steve
Yeah.
Weinberger's show in Teaneck, New Jersey, so that'll be cool. He's
Yep.
probably gonna look like a fucking a mutant after eating,
No, I'm the only mutant. Don't do that.
look like A.
No. I'm the only mutant. Call him
There's
something.
the and then A.
No,
The
call him something
A.
else. Call him something else.
What other fucking adjective would you like me to use, Nicholas?
I don't give a shit. I'm a
He
mutant.
looked
There's
like
an
he
age
looked like
to that.
an ox.
There you go. He looks like an ox.
If he uses that, oh no, Evans at the Pawnee was known as the ox. Now I'm gonna get shit
Yeah.
for that. He looked like a big fucking person. Fuck, you guys are all sensitive. I can't.
No, I'm the only mutant.
Are Speaking of mutant, are you gonna have like? Obviously, I know these sauces are you and Maria. So are you gonna have like your own? Like this, I do. Like this is my. I made this one. This is my sauce.
Yeah,
Sauce.
we're gonna work on something for sure. Yeah.
Any hints on to what it is or nah?
No, because there's nothing in yet.
Oh, just it's talking of it.
It's just that we're just in the thought process.
So now that you digested all this, where's your head kind of at? Like, what's your plan moving forward? I know you didn't want to make this a long podcast, so we won't drag on the podcast. But what's your game plan moving forward? Like, obviously, we got to get the hamstring healed and that fixed. But where's your head at mentally? Like, what's your next?
I'm in a better spot. I get to at least I get to train still somewhat. And I have my brother here. We're I haven't really spent time with him for a little while, like actual time. So, I'm happy to kind of have him here and bond a little more and just chill, relax, whatever. Whether that's, playing PS5, eating food, going to a movie, I'm just happy that he's here and we get to share some fun times together.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I do get down on myself quite often. But I do like to think I handled this situation rather well than what I'm used to doing.
Yeah.
I definitely had my moments where I just fucking broke down and snapped. And that was honestly right before finals. But overall, I know this is just a little setback, and I'm actually pretty happy with how it's already healing and how significant it's already healing. So I mean, look, everyone who knows me knows like I'm just all this is fuel for me.
Yeah.
But right now, I think the best thing I could try, I'm going to emphasize the word try, is develop a little bit of balance, a little bit. Because one thing I know about my body now, like 100%, which Matt clearly knows as well, my body thrives when it's rested, which is why this prep was so perfect. I mean, yeah, I know it wasn't a long break because I did the Arnold, but the way I was able to train, eat, minimize a lot of shit, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yep.
I didn't overdo it. And I there were times where I didn't train for like 3 or 4 days straight. So I just said, fuck it. And my body was just well rested. So it performed really well. The body clicked with everything like perfection.
So you're not bullshitting me. There was days where 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row, you didn't work out at all.
No, I mean, if I traveled, I don't work. I don't like to work out when I travel. I just don't. So I just won't. Like when I went to HD and we Where did we go? I don't know. We went somewhere. I didn't train for 4 days because we left Friday, so I didn't train. It was a weekend thing. We came back Monday, and I didn't train Monday, so it was 4 days.
Hmm.
And it did nothing to my body but clear out inflammation, honestly. And even that was the first trip. The second trip I did with them when I did like the Canada tour, that was 4 days. I didn't train for those 4 days because
So
you're so busy. I'm like, training is just going to stress me out, so I'm just not going to do it.
okay. So go ahead. So you guess, I guess, and I think that was kind of the reason you were really upset is because you literally in your mind almost had like a perfect prep.
It was, dude. I mean, who you know is eating, cheat
Barriers.
meals every Friday up to like I think it was 5 weeks out.
No one.
And when I literally when I don't like to use the word perfect too often, but like it was perfect.
And you
Like,
weren't
literally.
killing cardio either.
No, I mean there were certain we pushed it at certain moments, but it
As
didn't
you
last
should.
long.
Yeah.
It was just like let's get a nice little kickstart here.
Yeah. Let's
And
fucking
then once
zoom
it
the
did,
engine.
we reeled it right back.
Yeah. I mean, dude, when you send me pictures before you post them, sometimes I'd be like,
Majority
This
of
is-
my cardio was like 45 minutes,
yeah, that's
which is nothing.
yeah, that's
I enjoy doing
standard.
45 minutes in the off season, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's I do that now. It's like a fucking breeze. Anything
Exactly.
over 45 is like, okay, then you're pushing it,
Yeah. But that's all it would be. Like it would always be 45 in the morning, and then we got to a point where we added like I think it was 20 minutes after training.
Yeah.
But that was it, you
Yeah.
know?
I think you handled this the best you could. I think you handled it like a champion. I think you even went to the meet and greet. You showed up to the booth. Yeah, and how was that? Like, how was that from a competitor perspective, like pulling out of the show and then actually going to an event, like obviously in great shape, but seeing it from a different perspective? Was it like excited seeing the fans and like interacting them, even though you wish you were on stage?
It was well, yeah, because everyone kept saying that to me. Like, I wish you were on stage. And
You're like, no shit.
yeah, I hated hearing it, but like I get it. But no, it was really cool because I wasn't focused on the show. I was focused on engaging, and being a little more intimate with the fans. So I got to have like real conversations, hear people's stories, laugh a little, and just have fun. And honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's why, I just said I'm really just trying to look at the silver lining of everything. And overall, it wasn't the weekend was not at all what I expected, but I made the best of it. I made the most of it, and it was still enjoyable.
Yeah. It was awesome, man. It's really cool to walk into your room and see your mom and your dad and you and Marie and sitting there like how close knit you guys are and how close you guys are and like your little camp you guys got. It's just awesome, man. Your parents are fucking phenomenal people. I was blessed to grow up with great parents and it's really, really cool to see how close you and your parents are. It's
Sure.
awesome because there's not, if there was more parents like my parents, your parents, and people like that in this world, it would the world would be a much better place. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, man, it was crazy, and then we got back from the Olympia, the expo for, I had my own booth they gave me, and I was there. I had my nice little area section, handed out some uprising stuff. People loved the uprising extract. That was awesome. So I appreciate, the Olympia and manager Matt. Shout out to manager Matt. Manager Matt doesn't get a lot of credit from a lot of people. And I don't understand it most of the time because a lot of times he is the guy that sets things up behind the scenes for a lot of these athletes, Regan, Urishna. He's done a lot of stuff for myself. I know he's helped you sometimes with some things, Nick, and he was able to connect some dots for me. And, I was able to get a booth last minute at the Olympia. So I wouldn't have had a booth if it wasn't for Matt. So Matt, I appreciate you connecting those dots for myself, Matt, and Uprising. We had a great time at booth 1614. It was just mayhem and very humbling to still think I matter to that many people at this stage and being a retired bodybuilder. it was, I never thought I'd be where I was in bodybuilding, then to have it still post retirement is pretty cool. So, thanks to each and every one of you guys that stopped by and took a picture, got an autograph, bought something, or said, any positive words. I appreciate each and every one of you. So yeah, I mean, that pretty much wrapped it up. And then, the week ended for me shitty. That when we get close to the beginning of November, when Sean passed is a fucking rough day, man. It is not an easy fucking thing to deal with, but like just like you did with your injury, you just got to fucking figure it out and you got to keep going. And, like you, I have my moments and you move the fuck on and, that's all you really can do in life, man. Figure it the fuck out and move on.
Facts.
And, we got good shit coming up. We got Thanksgiving coming up. You can enjoy your family. Steve Weinberger's got a show this weekend. Derek's got posed on it. I'm going to go to that. I got a buddy competing in it, Mo. So a lot of cool things happening. Shout out to Justin Shire. It was his first Olympia. Super proud of you, Justin. Glad you were on that stage, buddy. It was cool to see you there. I know he was happy. He kept saying, "I'm happy I just beat somebody." And I think the kid Ross, we talked about him. He got sick. He too dehydrated, but glad he was okay. He's a great dude. Ross Flanagan. So yeah, man, other than that, I mean, it was a great time for me, my buddy Bobby. Shout out to Michael Johansson. He had a fucking crazy Gasp House. He does a lot for the bodybuilding community in general. The Gasp and Better Bodies had a great booth. Michael Johansson had a phenomenal house. He opens his doors to anybody that wants to show up. The house was tremendous. We did a podcast with me and Branch. There was a fucking arcade in the house. It was just a phenomenal time. And again, somebody that doesn't get a lot of praise is Michael Johansson. He's the guy, the owner of Gasp and Better Bodies. He does a whole hell of a lot for the bodybuilding community, and it's cool to see. And there's the bodybuilding world needs a lot more people like that guy because he's a fucking OG. So on that, we will fucking head off. My voice can't take much more. I'm exhausted. I felt like shit fucking for the past 2 days. I kept sucking on ice cubes to get through this for you guys, but I am fucking tapped the fuck out after all this shit. So, Nick, man, I'm proud of you, dude. I'm proud of how you handled all this shit. I know it wasn't easy. I know you're ready to snap 99% of the time with all the fucking tension and aggression from not being able to be on that stage, and then probably to watch knowing you were probably could have been. Yeah, you could have walked away with your first one. And I'm not taking anything away from Derek, but I'm just saying I think you would have been fighting for that first place if you were there. And I think that probably would have made it a little even worse. But you know what? That little bit of fucking aggression, anger, use that as the fucking the aggression to put towards next year and just fucking come back bigger, stronger, harder, whatever the case may be. And just you walk away with it next year, and use that as your, determining factor as, the eye on the prize type of shit. So I have no doubt that you'll be back next year, better than ever. And I think everybody knows that you have delivered every single time you said you were going to do that and you said you were going to do it. So I think we all are, you've made us all a believer. So just, as Flex Lewis would say, believe to achieve, buddy. So go after it and get it. And we will end on that note. Again, we are back, guys. We will be doing this more often. Obviously, we'll be putting out. We had to do a little hold because of L. Nicholas.
It makes it better now. You go a little hiatus. Yeah. Come back.
Yeah,
it's good.
Guess who's back?
Yeah, right.
Back again. But yeah. So. I'm gonna go get some food in me. I lost I was 100, and when I got home on Monday at 3:00, I weighed myself. I was 183.2 pounds.
Yeah, you're skinny. Sorry to burst your bubble. You have officially left the 200s by like 20 pounds, bro.
Recording ended.
You are now the littlest person I know.
False.
Muscle wise.
Bullshit.
You lost it. My brother weighs more than you.
How much? Yeah, how much you weigh?
205.
Fuck you.
He's
I'm
still
too-
above 200.
I'll go eat pizza tonight and be 200 pounds by tomorrow. Guaranteed. Actually, I can't. I got a cardiologist appointment.
I guarantee you'll lose weight.
It's so, bro, it's crazy, dude. It's insane how fast it fucking just like if I don't eat, forget it. It's just like I miss 2 meals. It's I lose pounds.
Yeah, we were supposed to end this podcast 20 minutes ago.
All right, we'll just end it. How do you want to end it? We'll just end it. Ciao.
Love you.
Bye.